After the Great Flood, Noah's family began to repopulate the earth. As the years passed, people multiplied and spread across the land. At this time, all people on earth spoke the same language and used the same words. Communication was simple and clear among all humanity. As people journeyed from the east, they found a plain in the land of Shinar and decided to settle there. This fertile valley seemed like the perfect place to build a great civilization. The people discovered how to make bricks and use tar for mortar, giving them new building capabilities. But instead of spreading out across the earth as God had commanded, the people had a different plan. They gathered together and said to one another, "Come, let us build ourselves a city and a tower whose top reaches to the heavens. Let us make a name for ourselves, so that we will not be scattered abroad over the face of the whole earth." The people were filled with pride and ambition. They wanted to build something magnificent that would bring them fame and glory. They wanted to create a monument to their own greatness rather than honoring God. The tower they envisioned would be so tall it would reach into the heavens themselves. Work began on this massive project. Day after day, brick upon brick, the tower grew higher and higher. The people worked together with incredible unity and determination. They believed that by building this great tower, they could make themselves equal to God and ensure they would never be scattered across the earth. But God saw what the people were doing. He came down to see the city and the tower that the people were building. God observed their pride, their rebellion, and their desire to exalt themselves rather than worship Him. God said, "Indeed, the people are one, and they all have one language, and this is what they begin to do. Now nothing that they propose to do will be withheld from them. Come, let us go down and confuse their language so that they may not understand one another's speech." In an instant, everything changed. Where there had been perfect communication, suddenly no one could understand what others were saying. Workers who had been cooperating smoothly now stared at each other in confusion. Instructions became meaningless noise. The unified project collapsed into chaos. The man asking for bricks heard only strange sounds from his fellow worker. The architect could not explain his plans to the builders. Families found they could no longer understand their neighbors. The simple task of working together became impossible when people could not communicate. Unable to continue their great project, the people stopped building the city and the tower. The magnificent structure they had dreamed of remained unfinished, standing as a monument to human pride and the consequences of rebellion against God. From there, God scattered the people abroad over the face of all the earth just as He had originally intended. Different groups, now speaking different languages, spread out to populate various regions of the world. This is how the many languages and nations of the earth began. The city was called Babel, which means confusion, because there the Lord confused the language of all the earth. The Tower of Babel became a reminder that human pride and attempts to reach heaven through our own efforts will always fail. This story teaches us about the dangers of pride and the importance of following God's plan, rather than our own ambitions. God desires unity among people, but unity that honors Him, not unity that seeks to replace Him. When we try to build our own kingdoms instead of seeking God's kingdom, we find only confusion and division.